to understand about the nature of Ishvara, it is Nishkalam, without any parts. Itself is what? It is what? Without any actions. Itself is what? Unconnected to anything. And it is, if I really know the true nature of Ishvara, it is what? It is a key to my immortality. If you only stuck to all knowledge and all power, you will disappear. Who is pursuing? And then you are not all knowledge and all power. So the very fact that you are there and it's your pursuit, that means and you can't what miss Ishvara as also the forms. You have to include. So that means that I have to what understand the true nature of Ishvara. By understanding the true nature of Ishvara, I understand myself clearly. It is the one which is going to take me to immortality. So this is what it says. Oh, see, all the temple bells ring. So now, here he says, in order to do that, what is now, the Mumukshu is very clear what I have to understand. Ultimately also what I have to understand. I have to understand you as this entity. Then, here he says, now how will I get there? How will I understand such a big vision? Here he says, Tapa Prabhavat Deva Prasadacha. Right? That means one has to, what is through the power of austerity and through the grace of Lord, the sage. This is the sage, this Shvetashvatara.
This is name, is it?
This is the name of the sage. Yeah. Realized his Brahman and proclaimed the highly sacred knowledge, supremely cherished by the company of seers to sannyasis of the most advanced stage. So that means one more person using the pramana got the knowledge. One more person has what? How did the person help oneself? Tapa prabhavat. Tapas is generally translated as what? Some kind of austerity. It is not mindless austerity or anything. The tapas is, see, you have a certain natural tendencies. When those natural tendencies and natural chatters and natural behaviors, natural attitudes are based on wrong understanding of the world. With the help of Upanishad, you curb the tendency to go into this habitual thinking and put it back into track is called tapas. Because it requires effort. If you are just natural, what will happen? Your natural programming will take over. Habits. The whole human being is mostly driven by habits because they are strong, they are deep-rooted. So that means every time you get into this habitual thinking, you have to what? Check yourself, How many times a day? Every time you go off tangent, you have to bring it back. There is no rule 5 times, 10 times. One time. Who knows? Maybe because over a period of time, your buddhi is what? Totally reoriented. It will become natural. All the right values, all the right ways of looking at things, your capacity to make decisions, looking at larger picture, all this will become what? Natural. There is no need to what? Bring it back. It will become spontaneous. Initially, it has to be acquired. So this is what the person has done. And the more and more you do it, what happens? Deva Prasada. That the universe, Ishvara, will what?
Grace.
The grace. This, see, we keep on talking about grace. Now we have to understand a little bit, what is this term grace? there is karma and karma phala. Any action you do, you will get what? Result. So that means you study, if you are in school, you study and hopefully when you have reasonably good concentration, you have reasonably good understanding capacity, what would be the result? You will pass the exam. So that means there is karma, which is what your studies, and what is the result? You pass the exam in a normal circumstance. So this is what we call what karma and karma phala. You work really hard, you get promotion. This is how everything is, right? So that means we constantly keep exercising our choices and we keep on getting what? Results for that. There is no partiality here. Whoever does what, that person gets that result. So that means we want this. For that we have that. Right? So this is how a rational mind works. But the thing is, every time I do an action, the result that comes to me is not only a function of what? Today's result. Today's action. It is the result that I get today is a function of not only the actions that I have performed today, but also actions that I have performed in the past. This is why there is a discrepancy between what the action we see at times and the result. So that means that you can't do anything about what the past actions that you have performed. They are already collapsed. You can't do anything about it. And the past actions, you don't quite know whether they are going to favor you, or it's going to be neutral, or it is going to be what? Detrimental. You don't know. So this is why once you understand the law is like that, you are a little bit stuck. Because you can do what you can do today, but you have what? Something that is already collapsed in the past, which is going to go into the equation of what you get now. And also it's unknown to you. What are you going to do about it? Tell me. Prayer. The only thing is prayer. The only thing. There is no other thing. Because you only can do with reference to what you know. With reference to things that you don't know, which are going to get added in the equation. You don't know. So therefore, what does prayer do? As I told you, it adds one more variable. When every time you add one more variable in your favor, which is what? Prayer is an action. And it follows what? The law of karma. Every action has to have a result. So that means the result of a prayer which is done out of your what? Understanding. See, you have used your free will. You need not have prayed. Wonderful, no problem. The normal equation will work. It's not like only when you pray you will get the result. Not at all. If the equation is in your favor, then certainly it will work. But what you have done is added one more variable. And the result of that choice that you have made, the result of prayer is called grace. By praying, there is what? You earn grace. Why? Because it's your effort that you have collapsed. You need not have to do it. So there is karma and karma phala. For a prayer, a new name is given, which is what? Grace.
So result of prayer.
Result of prayer is grace.
Can you pray for somebody else? And
Yeah, sure.
Then the result is for
Yeah,
you.
so that result goes.
This is the only thing when you
That's why we do sankalpa. Before every prayer, you have a sankalpa. What you are doing this prayer for. This is why in this new age circles, there is a whole big fashion oh, you know, why should you pray for something specific? You are being so selfish. Ishvara knows. Hey, Ishvara doesn't know. You have to ask what you want from this prayer. Because you may want moksha, and even while today you want, you every day, maybe you, that's one thing that if you think that you are a mumukshu, you want it every day, it's not going to change. But one day, imagine your friend is sick. So every day your prayer is not, I want, yes it is, but you have an additional prayer which is what? Let my friend get well. You need to tell, Ishvara doesn't know.
Yeah, I only ask because I thought the law is that every karma you do is, the result is only in your account.
No. Because if your sankalpa is, I pray for that person, then what, that the intention, this is why the intention of that is what the other person. But you also get punya.
Yeah.
You also get, because you are making that effort. Okay. So, because you don't have to, you can be totally indifferent to your friends, but that you are taking time, you also get punya. So it's a win-win situation. When you pray for somebody else, it's a win-win situation, because not only that person gets helped, you also get helped.
So the most important thing.
So that means the result, that extra effort you make. Our teacher used to say, Swamiji used to say, that prayer is a highest expression of free will. I used to wonder, why? It's a highest expression of free will because you need not pray. Most of the time you can say, yeah, I'm working, I'm taking into account what the cause and effect relationship, I perform dharmic actions, and there is something. For you to pray, there are certain facts that you need to realize. That there is nobody in this world who is indifferent to result of the action. Nobody can pretend, oh, I want job, but I don't care whether I get promotion or not. If you work hard, you want promotion. This is how it is. Unless you are completely, you trained yourself to be in some zone, that is how it is. Everybody wants to be successful in whatever they are doing. If you go to school, you want to come first. If you are doing business, you want to do well. If you are running any center, you want it to run well. Everybody wants success. Everybody works for success. Any spiritual person who tells you don't expect result, they don't know what they are talking, because behind every action you do, you want what? Do you think, oh, I'll go to this Vedanta retreat, but I'm totally indifferent, I don't expect to learn anything. Does anybody come like that? Nobody comes like that. Even Vedanta, you want result. Everybody wants result. But you also have to realize that the result is not totally in your hand. That is also a fact. It's a fact. It's not like, yeah, I accept it or I don't accept it. This is a fact. Because if the result was in your hand, you should always get what you want at the time that you want it. And everybody knows that that doesn't happen all the time. So that means there is something else working. So therefore, and what is it which is working? Either you can just say things are unfair because things didn't happen. That is one possibility. And you are in what? That normal chakra of what we call negativity. You are frustrated, you are angry with this person, you are angry. That is a normal way of operating. So that means, if your assumption is that things are random, there is no order in the universe, then what? You will get into this mode. But if you are little intelligent, then you will understand that hey, things don't happen my way doesn't mean world is unfair. It means that there are some laws. There are laws which are taking into account not only present variables but also what? Past variables. And since you are not indifferent to success and failure, you want success, you want to this law, what do? You add one more variable so that what? It's a game of probability. You increase your chance of getting it. Increase. There is no guarantee because you don't know how many things are in the past and how it is influencing. But you do what you can do. So that means for you to pray, you need to realize a lot of things. First, that what is you have to be intelligent and honest, and you have to say, I want success. For anything that I do, I want success. That is my interest. Second, I have to be intelligent and I have to see what are the variables which will make me achieve what I want to achieve and work hard for it. That is second thing. You need to know. The third thing you need to know is, even I have taken into account all the variables and worked hard, there is no given point in time that the individual knows all the variables which are at play and work 100% at it. That means your effort also cannot be 100% because your knowledge is limited. Then, given the variables on which you have worked and the past the causes are kicking in, the result is what? Not always according to your wishes. Now, these results are not just what, if you think that these results are just governed by the mechanical cause, the laws of cause and effect, you will still not pray. We don't pray to law of gravity. It's a law. We only pray to Ishvara. So that means, in addition to what the law of cause and effect, I have to see what this law as manifestation of Ishvara. Only then there is a prayer. That means you have to understand a lot about life before you pray. This is why it is the highest expression of free will. Your understanding has to go all the way. Can't stop anywhere in between. There are some people who do japa. Oh, we are praying to the laws of cause and effect. I said, hey, nobody prays to the laws. And the people, the prayer is only possible to Ishvara, which is the intelligence. And one of the manifestation of that intelligence is what? Law of cause and effect. So this is how. All this you need to be totally clear before you pray. That means if you really pray with a proper understanding of things, it is the highest expression of free will. You're using your free will to the maximum. You're taking into account, what are you doing? You first identify what you want. Then you identify the variables that go into getting that. Then you work on all of that. Then you understand the unknown variables and its effect. Then you understand the laws which govern it, and then the entity from where the manifestation of law is, you identify that as Ishvara, and then what you pray. When I say entity, it doesn't mean there is Mr. Uncle Ishvara. That's not what I mean. It is what, that one thing. It is also not non-entity, because if it was non-entity, it will be non-existent. It's not a given entity, it is the one which is what?
Pervading everything.
Pervading everything. So that means itself has no particular form. But all the forms are
His manifestation.
exactly Ishvara's manifestations. So therefore, this is a prayer. So now, as a result of the prayer, what you get is grace. So here it says, Tapa Prabhava. Tapa is what? Identifying your own patterns, your own, when you are going on a tangent and bringing back. What is Ish Deva Prasada? Along with bringing back alertly, there is what? Prayer. Even in one's emotional life at times, you understand everything, but you can't what? Totally give up. You need a prayer. So that means, as a result of these prayers, what this person, Shvetashvatara, became Vidwan. He became a wise person as a result of this teaching. Okay? And when he became wise person, what happened? That all the other people who were around him, who were helping him, who are these people? The sannyasis, the seers, and all of them, what did they do? They became really happy. Why did they become very happy?
They learned from him. They realized that they are the happiness.
Okay, so that is also one thing which is very beautiful. See, one of the good sage or a saint is, generally, and this happens everywhere. Even if you come to Brahma Vidya and all, it doesn't mean you become like some great evolved person and all that. Even in a classroom, our 3-year course, in a classroom, everybody watches everyone. How good this person is with Sanskrit. How good this person is with chanting. How good this person is with what understanding Bhashya. Because we all had to speak what we understood and we had to stand in front of everyone and talk. So that means there is what? Competition, there is rivalry. Don't think that because you've come for Brahma Vidya, therefore everybody is very evolved. Somebody's learning makes you feel small, then you become jealous of that person. This all happens. Everybody compares. We all used to really want the teacher to look at us. But there is a 50 people there, so he can't look at everyone. He only looks at what? Some people who are in front. And he also doesn't talk like in the air. He looks at people and he talks. But the people with whom he can have eye contact is the people who are sitting close. Then everybody was like, yeah, Swamiji is only looking there. All this happens. This is because it's human mind. The more and more and more you become wise, the people are not your rivals. You begin to see your well-being in their well-being. That means if others are happy, you are not feeling small, you are feeling happy. That is your evolution. When somebody is gaining, you are happy for that person because that person is gaining. You are not feeling, oh my God. You are not feeling small and trying to put the person down. So that is what these sannyasis, the seers and all, they are such evolved beings. And then, so that is a first stage. The first stage of maturity is what? Instead of this normal tendency, when you see somebody little shining, you feel small and you try to put the person down. And the other person is what? Happy that you are doing well. that shows a very big shift in the mind. My well-being is connected to other people's well-being. I feel happy by making I feel happy when others are happy. Highly evolved person. Then your maturity is at the peak when you not only are happy when others are happy, but you participate in others' happiness through your actions. You contribute to their happiness. That's another level of evolution. So all these seers and sannyasis, what did they do? They participated in what? Shvetashvatara, knowing the reality. And when he got it, they were what? Happy. They were really happy. That one more jiva's journey has what? Ended. The journey has ended because the jiva recognizes one's own swarupa. Swarupa is my true nature as Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. Not only they have participated and they have made that person. Each one, this is where your pursuit is also dependent upon contribution of so many people. That we can study here is a result of so many people working. So many people working to make this happen. A cook is cooking, the cleaners are cleaning, the ashram is running. So that means, and this is a natural expression of gratitude. Because if all this was not, your pursuit could not have gone on. So not only your ancestors have participated in you being here, but also all the people surrounding, they have participated in making your study what it is. So therefore, that contribution should come, of course, because there is a cash crunch, so we can't do much. But it has to come from the gratitude and recognition, and not because, oh yeah, we have to now contribute because people are collecting money. The attitude has to change. Without them, your study would not have been possible. They have somehow participated in it. And this is just a small offering to what? Recognize their contribution. This is how your attitudes have to change. Your home, the people who are working for you at home, they are not your slaves. And just because you pay them some puny little salary, you can't take that you own them and treat them like slaves. You have no right to do it. You have to respect them. Because without them, your life will not be possible. Your comforts won't be possible. If everybody begins to act like that, imagine the kind of world. Even if few people begin to act like that, I tell you, there is going to be a multiplier effect. So that otherwise we just squeeze people who are below us. That is not the way to live. So that is, you participate in everybody's well-being. And you recognize what? The contribution of so many people to you. The more you participate in others' well-being, the more you will receive the contribution of others, which will enrich your life. This is how the world works. By participating, you are not a loser. You will gain more. This is Ishvara. This is your trust in Ishvara. That will bring about the transformation. your terms of interaction with the universe. So these are what sannyasis, seers, they are not dropouts. If you look at their economic value, how much are they producing to GDP? If that is your way of looking at sannyasis and seers, then you will come to what? They are not going to work. They are not going to what? They are not earning salary. So therefore they are what? This is what Swamiji said. If you don't have moksha as the goal, those people who are just sitting there, they are seen as what? Parasites to the society. They are not contributing anything. They are drawing from what? National resources. Here, when moksha is the goal, and when somebody has given up all the pursuits for moksha, that person becomes what? Exalted. That person is exalted, that gets a name sannyasi in the society, not a dropout, a hobo. Again, this is how it is. People come from far away to feed those sadhus. This because the person, it requires courage to give up everything and just get knowledge. So therefore, these sannyasis are the people originally. Now you don't look around here and don't think that all of them are pursuing knowledge and all. That is not. The idea of a sannyasi is, in the Vedas, what? You are allowed to give up all other roles because you want to pursue the knowledge. That is permitted. That is called a sannyasi. And the sannyasi is not just a dropout. Just because the person doesn't go to work, it's not considered a dropout. When the person studies, then what? You've given up everything to what? Get the knowledge. Not just given up because you are disenchanted with the world. Once you begin to study, then what? You also, you receive so much from this Vedas, then you can't but share it with others. So this person becomes what? Not only the person who receives, starts what? Sharing. Contributing. So they say there are a lot of dhanam, lot of giving. The highest is Vidyadhanam. Vidyadhanam is the giving of knowledge because it empowers the other. Empowers the other forever. So that means, and in every other knowledge, you feel relatively empowered. In the knowledge of Brahma Vidya, when you discover your own limitlessness, what is the extent to which you are empowered? Tell me. Can you be empowered more? Not possible. So that means the contribution the person has made in your life can never be repaid. Never. Never. Only thing the person can do is, just as you are blessed, you bless others.
Pass on.
Pass on.
This is our heritage.
That is the heritage. This is the spiritual heritage of India. Pass it on. Make somebody else what? Enjoy the vision. This is what the sadhus. That's why the sadhus and seers are really happy. They not only participated when they say that all my result has fructified in what? Making somebody really see the reality. I'm so happy. So this is what this verse means. Now Shvetashvatara became a Vidwan. Now Vedante Paramam Guhyam Pura Kalpe Prachoditam Na Aprashantaya Datavyam Na Aputra Ashishyaye Vapuraha. So there is some. So I stopped this because now I have how many verses? Only 2 verses which I will do in tomorrow's class. In the morning class, and after that we'll do one more class which is, we would love to hear the feedback. So we will do a feedback class. The second class will be a feedback class. The first class I'll finish these verses. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamada